When my daughter's friend asked if she could live with us for just a few days, I had no idea I was about to become a mother to a child I'd never met. I wasn't planning to adopt a teenager at 43. As a single mother working 2 jobs to support my own 15-year-old daughter, Lily, I barely kept our household functioning. Our 2-bedroom apartment was cramped, our budget tight, and my energy reserves consistently depleted. So when Lily approached me one Tuesday night while I was folding laundry, I was only half listening. "Mom, would it be okay if Zoe stays with us for a few days? Her mom's boyfriend is being really awful again." I vaguely recognized the name, a quiet girl from Lily's chemistry class who joined us for dinner once or twice. I nodded absently, assuming it was typical teenage drama. "Sure, honey, just for a few days." 3 hours later, our doorbell rang. I opened it to find a slight pale girl clutching a tattered backpack and a plastic grocery bag containing everything she owned. Her right eye was swollen, a yellowing bruise disappearing beneath her hairline. "I am really sorry to bother you, Mrs. Collins," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "Thank you for letting me stay. I promise I won't be any trouble." That night, after making up our sofa with extra blankets, I overheard Zoe in our bathroom. Through the door, the unmistakable sound of quiet sobbing echoed against the tiles. I knocked gently. "Zoe, is everything okay?" The door opened slowly. Standing there in borrowed pajamas that hung from her thin frame, she looked both younger and older than her 15 years. "I've never slept somewhere where I wasn't scared before," she said simply. Those few days stretched into a week. I called Zoe's mother repeatedly, each call going straight to voicemail. When I finally reached her, the slurred voice on the other end said, "Just keep her. She's always been nothing but trouble anyway." I contacted the school counselor who connected me with social services. The caseworker who visited explained that Zoe's situation wasn't unique. Her mother's addiction had led to a revolving door of unstable boyfriends, with Zoe bearing the brunt of their tempers. With the system overwhelmed and foster placements scarce, Zoe would likely be placed in a group home if I couldn't continue housing her. As the caseworker spoke, I watched Zoe through our kitchen window. She was helping Lily with their science project, laughing for the first time since she'd arrived. Something inside me shifted. What would it take, I heard myself asking, for her to stay here permanently? The next 6 months were a blur of home studies, background checks, court appearances, and parenting classes. My mother thought I'd lost my mind, my ex-husband questioned my judgment, but Lily never wavered, instantly accepting Zoe as the sister she'd always wanted. One night I found a handwritten note tucked under my pillow. "Dear Mrs. Collins, I know I am not really your daughter and you didn't ask for this responsibility, but thank you for making me feel safe for the first time in my life, Zoe." I smiled. Then parent actually smiled parrot before sitting on my bed and writing my response. "Dear Zoe, family isn't always who we're born to, but who we choose to love and protect. You became my daughter the moment you walked through our door. Balm if that feels right to you, as today marks 3 years since that Tuesday night. Our apartment is still cramped, my job still demanding, but our family has found its rhythm." Zoe graduates next month as class valedictorian with a full scholarship to State University. In her college application essay, she wrote about finding her home in an unexpected place. Some people hear a child's request and offer temporary shelter. Others recognize a moment that will forever alter the course of multiple lives and still choose to say yes. I now know which decision creates the kind of family that transcends biology, the kind that begins with a simple question and ends with a daughter I never expected but cannot imagine living without. Etri Claude can make mistakes.